Okay, guys, so things are getting heated around here, and it's funny, but it's also not funny at the same time. While it is funny, it is also not funny because Christopher Griffiths, right? He's Stefon Diggs' male accuser. This guy is a designer. This guy is fortunate enough to have money to afford himself a good lawyer to be hitting Diggs back with the punches, honey. Do you see the difference when someone has proper legal representation? They're not mauled over, pushed over, bullied, made to be look a fool, made out to be a liar in court. Griffith has money, okay? He has money. And this is clear that this man has money. So when they were saying that Griffith was stealing things from Stefon and because he got caught, he twisted the story, I'm no longer buying that. I'm no longer buying that. Anyone can be a thief, but now, why would Griffiths just go into someone's suitcase to steal a few outfits, then coming out with an entire story saying that Stefon Diggs roofied some candies, gave to him, put his tongue in his ear, then tried to have his way, and he was not like that. Rihanna, TMO, I don't feel that way. So this guy claims that he had to tell Stefon Diggs, I don't feel that way, right? So, remember also that the court told Stefon Diggs, you have 14 days to sit down and give us a thorough explanation about the friendship between you and this guy. We don't want a half-ass explanation, like we need details. How do you know this guy? How did you become friends? And we want it all. And Stefon Diggs is still dodging that, allegedly. Now I'm wondering, do you guys remember that day when Barney came out and was like, if she dates another man, if he's gay, we would not even know? Remember, a OnlyFans model came out at the same time, and the internet was assuming that it was the OnlyFans model. But what if Barney's statement is coming from this case? You know, have you ever thought about it that way? Think about it for a second. What if Barney's statement is coming from this case? Because what is now coming to light is that, listen this. Initially, Stefon Diggs was told, we need a thorough explanation of how is it that you became friends with this guy, right? And then after that, Stefon Diggs was told to hand over every communication between him and Christopher Griffiths. Stefon Diggs told the court that he doesn't have access to the messages because Griffiths has blocked him. But if Griffiths was the guilty one, why was Griffiths the first one to block you? Normally, the person you offend, like, that gives you overstep your boundaries with this man, and this man was like, I'm done with you. You overstepped your boundaries, I'm done with you, right? That's what I'm getting. Could be wrong, right? So now, there's a report out, and they're saying that, okay, Christopher Griffiths has produced over 100 pages of communication, including text on iMessage and Instagram between himself and Diggs, right? So Stefon had claimed Christopher had failed to turn over Instagram messages, but Christopher said Stefon has those messages himself. So after Stefon accused Christopher of failing to overturn the messages, Christopher said, actually, Your Honor, I gave Stefon all of the communications, over 100 pages. Stefon Diggs is like, he blocked me, Your Honor. He blocked me, so I can't see the old messages anymore. So you have to order Christopher to hand them over. Christopher was like, Your Honor, I gave them to Stefon Diggs' attorney. My legal team gave them to his legal team. And then Stefon Diggs was like, okay, yes, he did in fact get them. How messed up is that? How messed up is that? Because listen, they say Stefon Diggs' male sexual assault accuser claimed he turned over more than 100 pages of text messages and other communication with the NFL star to back up his claim in court, TMC has learned. In court docs, Stefon accuser Christopher Griffiths claimed he produced over 100 pages of communications, including text messages on iMessage and Instagram between himself and Diggs. Stefon had claimed Christopher had failed to turn over Instagram messages, but Christopher said Stefon has those messages himself. Stefon claims Christopher has blocked him on Instagram and he can't see the old messages anymore, so he asked the judge to order Christopher to hand them over. And Christopher handed them over. So why is it that? Why is it that? You see, I don't know if you guys have been following this case, but let me tell you how this case has been going, right? Because Christopher has been taking the lead in court so far. Because Stefon Diggs accused Christopher of being the reason why he has missed out on millions of earnings. So Christopher is like, that's not true. My claims against you did not affect you in any shape or form. And if it has, please provide evidence to substantiate your claim. Show us your bank account, right? Stefon Diggs could not reveal his banking details because he earned the most in his entire career around that time. No attribution to Christopher, but it's just that his claims about Christopher costing him was not true. So he failed on that one. He said that Christopher was caught in the apartment, allegedly trying to steal things. Christopher was like, okay, hand over the surveillance images to the apartment. Hand it over. You've got cameras to your house, not apartment. He could not hand over. So Christopher has been taking the lead with this case. Christopher has been doing every single thing that the court has asked him to do. You know who cannot do a thing that the court has been asking him to do? Stefon Diggs. Stefon Diggs cannot do anything. So after Christopher made the allegations against Stefon Diggs of sexual assault, Stefon Diggs sued Christopher for defamation and loss of income. But Stefon Diggs cannot prove where Christopher has defamed him, and he cannot prove the loss of income. So you know who has been gaining on this case? Consistently, Christopher. Who has been able to produce everything that the court is asking to produce? Christopher. Things are not looking good for Stefon Diggs. They're not looking good with this case. And this is what happens when people have money to get themselves decent attorneys. You can't just railroad these people. You can't. You cannot. Like how they did Chef Mila. They can't. Good going, Christopher. I love this for him. I love this for Christopher. Good going. But let me know what you guys think, and we're going to talk some more. Peace.